Oh yeah. So kuna time inafika as a human being unakaa chini and then unafanya kitu inaitwa reflection. You go back a little bit, 2, 3, 4, 5 years and ask yourself, how does a journey of life has been? What have you done? What have you achieved? And what haven't you achieved? And why haven't you achieved whatever that you wanted to achieve? So questions roll in our minds. Sometimes we feel bad about ourselves because things we wanted to achieve, we didn't. Yeah, sometimes we feel like life isn't moving. And we feel like we need to get stuck in the places that we are in. But all of a sudden, Mungu naye ni nani? Somebody taps you on the shoulder to tell you, you know what? You are not yesterday. You are of today and the future. So after a reflection, you come back to your senses and ask yourself, from here henceforth, what am I supposed to do? We are not determined by the yesterday's mistakes. Yes, we did mistakes yesterday. Yes, we lied yesterday. Yes, we pleased some people yesterday. Yes, we did all that shit yesterday. But today we are living today now. So will I determine how I'm living or how I'm supposed to live based on how I lived yesterday or the kind of mistakes I did yesterday? I don't think so. So past is past. I can change nothing. It happened the way it did. Either was conscious or not conscious. Either it was intentional or unintentional, whatever, but things did happen. And what about today? What am I thinking that is going to change the way I'm going to do things from now henceforth? So get down to the plan. Now, I have to say this one to you honestly, that today, is it on 15th or 16th? It's on 15th, yeah? Yeah, I've been thinking about something based on the voices, based on my instincts. I've been feeling about something. And I think it is time to start the journey and walk through the journey. Because honestly, when we look back a little bit, we realize, that path that you passed through at that very night, you could have died somehow. Fortunately, or we can say unconsciously, you are saved. Or we can also say, how can we call it? Just miraculously, you were saved. You were supposed to die, or maybe you were sick in the hospital, or maybe you passed through a place where witchcraft is there, and you almost got yourself trapped, but you don't know how you got yourself from that kind of a hole. And then we go back and say, thank you, Lord. Actually, it's God who did it. We go through some thin, thick problems, tough problems, and we feel like, how can I get the hell out of this place? But miraculously, things just happen. And then you find yourself, you are on the safe side. And how did this one happen? And that's when we reflect back and say, you know what? There is a force beyond who we are. There is a power beyond what we can see and feel. There is something, there's a God. There's a God. You can call it a God, you can call it energy, you can call it whatever. But there's something that is beyond what we think, feel, and what we do. There is power beyond. Because the way we get ourselves from the sheet it is unimaginable. And you know what? This is not about motivational speaking. This is not just a testimony, but this is the truth. That somehow we need to go back to the roots. And what are the roots? We need to go back and ask ourselves, why were we created? Why are we alive up to date? I had a friend, his name is Zachary, back in Form 3, back in Form 4, I think, yeah, 2016 or 2016. Zachary falls sick during agriculture project. He was complaining about pain on his left hand. And he was a very close friend of mine. We used to sing together. And for those ones who miss my songs, go to John Ayema YouTube channel and watch my videos. And you can also find his picture. It's a real story. This is not just fiction. And this just happened. And Zachary cried about the pain he was feeling on the hand. And since I was the head boy, he asked me if I could request the teacher responsible to give him a permission to go home for treatment. And so we did. That was the first time, I think. And during the holiday, April holiday, I was at home. Zachary called me and said, the pain is exceeding. I don't know what to do. And at times at night, I find myself walking by the road. I don't know what takes me out. I was like, so Zachary, what are you supposed to do? Come and stay with me. Actually, he was about to come to our place and stay with me. But then his brother took him to Tenwek Hospital for checkups. And after Tenwek, he went home straight. After a few days, I got a call, and the brother said, friend to Zachary, sorry to report to you, Zachary is dead. Zachary did not plan to die, but a sudden death found him. We cannot conclude whether it was witchcrafty. We cannot conclude if it was a heart attack. We cannot conclude what was this pain all about that eventually led to his death. What was the pain about? So sometimes we ask a question like, we live today, we can breathe today, we have the energy to possess gadgets like phones, computers, and stuff, and we have the opportunity to access jobs, opportunities, make money and meet people, buy what we want. And we have some people, I don't know, I can call it unlucky, who cannot access or who cannot speak by themselves, as I'm doing now. So when we reflect this kind of experience way back, we realize, what, sometimes it's not our favor. Because I don't think if Zachary was a sinner before God, that God decided that he will die. I cannot conclude that way. But things do happen. So what I'm trying to say is that sometimes we go back and say, you know what, let me get back to my roots. What exactly are we supposed to do in this moment that we're living? Are you serving your purpose, or you're serving other people's purposes? Are you fulfilled with what you're doing and who you are? Or you are still in the hypnosis of criticism, murder, stealing other people's dreams? Like, are you living according to who you were born to be? So going back to the roots a little bit, I've been taking a good time to look at myself and ask, what am I living for? What am I living for? What am I supposed to do with myself, with my energy, with my potential, with the grace God has granted to me? So what am I supposed to do? Go back to my roots. And what are my roots? you're going to realize after this video. Yes, I've been talking about politics. Yes, I've been talking about so many things. But this time around, I think we need to get back to school again and ask yourself, what are we supposed to learn? What are we supposed to understand about ourselves? What is self-awareness? What is this that God intended to accomplish with me? So, after that long reflection, I realized I have this potential that I can speak, that I can allow God to express himself through me to his people, not preaching, not teaching, but being. So I'm talking to all people who believe, because according to the rebranding of this channel, because some people are asking, why are you rebranding the channel as School of Believers? So what do people go to school to do? To learn. And according to the system that we have in school nowadays, 844 was wired to make employees. So those who went through 844, they have to understand that they're supposed to be employees, not to have self-employment. What about the CBC? Trying its own. I don't understand the system. Now, do Christians have a school where they should understand who they're believing or who they're worshiping? So this is the idea. This is a zone where people are allowed to think, share their feelings, emotions, and their thoughts about what we believe. Sometimes what we believe is taking us way back or way aside from the love and grace of God. Because maybe the people who have the opportunity to stand before the podium are not telling us the truth. The reason why they're not telling us the truth is because they have their own interest, selfish interest. So they are using the word of God through Jesus Christ to earn money, to enrich themselves, to better their lives. And the people who are called followers, they are wallowing. They are going to sleep hungry tonight, where the pastor has plenty, living in a good house, and he doesn't mind about you. And you still have to book for him to pray for you. So what if we learn and understand how we can directly connect ourselves to God? I have come to realize that most of us are serving the devil on earth. I've come to realize that we're worshiping people on earth. On all this time I've been living on earth and mingling around with people, talking to people, serving the pastors, staying close to pastors, and understanding what exactly they are doing and what plans they have for you. Having understood the people who doesn't go to church, having interacted with the Muslims and other people who have a different faith, atheists, and all that, we have come to realize that we are only arguing about Jesus, God, nature, and partly what we have, rich or poor, learned or illiterate. That's what we are arguing about. We are not expressing the grace of God. We are not allowing ourselves that we are going to be used by God. We are arguing. Everybody in the podium is talking about the other pastor who is not preaching the gospel. Every other person is trying as much as possible to convince people that he is the righteous person who is sent by God. We are trying as much as possible using dark powers to perform miracles in churches so that the believers and the followers are going to trust us. And at the end of the day, we ask ourselves, are we not the very people who live in Kenya, who understands the economy, who suffers under the pressure of our leaders? Are we not? So, are we not the very people who born children and we do not take care of them, and they have lost them, those children have lost direction? Are we not the ones? Are we not the ones who are lazy parents? Are we not the ones who have dreams which are not achieved? Are we not the ones who are supposed to guide, who are supposed to work, who are supposed to be the role models, who are supposed to innovate, create, and come with something new? We are the ones. So if we only go to church and do not understand that we have other responsibilities we're supposed to serve, then the wheel of life is broken and nothing is moving. So that's why it is called a school of believers, where believers need to learn their responsibilities and what they're supposed to do so that we can keep the ecosystem moving as much as we are believers. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Mr. Bishop, and I would love to be talking to you. Stay close. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe because we have more coming on the way. Thank you so much.